it's pitch black, you know, his truck lights are off, like the engine's off, and this person emerges from the woods, and what terrifies the driver is that he's holding a knife. Before we get started with our episode, we're gonna hear from our sponsors. Eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Factor's your solution for fast, premium meals without the need for cooking. Head to factormeals.com/Rebecca50 and use code Rebecca50 to get 50% off on your first month and 20% off on your next month. That's code Rebecca50 at factormeals.com/Rebecca50 for 50% off on your first box and 20% off on your next box while your subscription is still active. Drinking AG1 has become a new part of my morning routine so that I can feel productive and energized and focused throughout the day. If there's one product that I would recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1, which is why I'm so excited to welcome them as a new partner. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/Rebecca. That's drinkag1.com/Rebecca. Check it out. Now let's get started with this week's episode. So everyone, this is Clarissa Rankin.
Yes, honey.
I am so excited. Like, I'm so fascinated by what you do. I don't think you really understand how many people have sent in questions for you. Like, they want to know.
Really?
Yes.
I am the Clarissa Rankin, by the way.
The Clarissa Rankin.
Yes.
Yes, girl. I love it. So you are a truck driver.
Yes, #1 in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You see how I keep correcting?
Yeah, I love
sure
it.
Everybody understand.
As you should. As you should. I love it. I'm living for it. I want to know, first of all, I want you to introduce yourself, tell a little bit about who you are and how you came to this profession, and give yourself all the props, please. You should.
I'm Clarissa Rankin.
Clarissa Rankin.
One of the most famous truck drivers in the world. Yeah. And I am a huge content creator, not just in the trucker industry, but just motivation in general.
I love.
And just being your best you. Like, I don't take no crap. I'm my own person. I'm my own individual. So I make sure people understand being your authentic self is the world. So I not only drive trucks, I have my own CDL school, me and my co-owner.
What does that mean? What does that mean? For people that don't know.
My CDL school?
What is that?
That means that I teach people how to drive 18-wheelers.
Okay.
And we do dispatching, teach them all about the trucking industry.
Okay.
And we teach them everything, like a lot of not just transportation, but just business in general. So, yeah. What else? I'm big in marketing.
Okay.
I have market for, you name it, I have market for Indeed, Amazon, Pallet Flying J, Febreze, plugins, vent clips, spray, oil, Sherrotella oil that you put in your truck. I have market for. You name it, I have did it.
I love that. So how did you become a truck driver? Like, how did you find your way into this life?
So first I went to school. Well, first my husband wanted to be a truck driver.
Okay.
For years. And he kept complaining. He kept saying, I want to drive trucks. But he was working for, it was like a group home type thing. But he kept complaining about he wanted to be a truck driver. So I said, shut up and just do it. I love that. I'm like, shut up and just do it. And by that time, it was like 2 years into complaining about it. And I said, pay up all the bills and just do it. Because I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. So that's what he did. He got into trucking, and as soon as he got his CDL, he found a job. So I was in school at the time, get my I think it was my bachelor's. Yeah, I think I was in my bachelor's at that time. And as soon as I graduate, I couldn't find a job.
Oh, what were you getting your bachelor's in?
I was getting my bachelor's in criminal justice.
Okay.
And I was going online because we ended up having a son that was born with a heart defect. So it worked out perfectly. I was going to school, get my education, and taking care of this baby at home. So I was like, now I got this education, and I ended up finding a part-time job working in the school system as a sub and driving the bus.
So you get the crazy kids.
Yes, I get the crazy baby.
Yeah.
Those are all my babies.
Cool.
I get it. And I started working in the prison system when I got my degree, because I was like, I'm going to get my degree and find a job in the system. Didn't like the prison system because it just was too rough for me. So I came back to work at the high school. I taught my last 9 months. And I told my husband, I said, I want to be a freight broker. So I went and got freight broking certification, but I didn't understand it.
Okay, what is a freight broker?
Freight broker is the person who assigns the loads to the dispatcher and the driver.
Okay.
So I didn't understand the lingo because I wasn't a truck driver.
Right.
So I told my husband, I said, I think I'm about to quit working at the school. He was like, what? What? You gonna quit your degree? I said, yeah, I think I'm gonna quit working at the school. I said, I really don't like it. No way. Like, I love the students, but I didn't like the pay. I didn't like getting up and sit behind that desk, just teaching all day long on my feet. I said, I really don't think this is gonna be for me. I think I want to go to school to get my CDL. If I could really get into this transportation industry, if I could really understand what about being a freight broker. So he was like, I don't know. So I was like, okay, just trust me.
Yeah.
So I started school. I quit working at the high school, and I started waiting tables to make the money to become a truck driver.
Yeah.
And I started paying for my CDL training. And when I got behind that steering wheel, my life changed forever. Like, I loved it. It was just so big. It was so like, it was like I can drive this big kid. Like, I got this. Like, and I had my hair, I still had my makeup, still had my nails, I still had my big butt, my personality, like, and I'm driving this big, manly, aggressive piece of equipment. I said, this is it. I can see me taking over the world. Like, and that's how I got started.
It was like just an epiphany. Like the first time you sat behind the wheel, you're like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
I love that.
It's like I sat there and it was like,
yes.
I'm going to take over this industry as soon as I sat there. And that's what I did.
Oh, that's amazing. So how long have you been doing it now?
I've been driving now 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and so to become a truck driver, is there any other requirement other than the CDL?
No.
So it's just the CDL. So what is
that? You gotta get your Class A CDL.
Your Class A CDL. Okay, so what kind of goes into getting that? Is it a certificate or is it a degree?
Oh, yeah.
What is,
so,
it's a license.
Yeah, I had to go to school for 160 hours.
Okay.
And I was going to school Monday through Friday from 8 until 5. And I had to do classroom work, take tests. I had to take air brake, combination, reading comprehension, because you got to be able to read and understand the fundamental of the English language to be able to pass the test.
Okay.
They're not going to give it to you in no other language in the U.S. So we had to do that. Then we had to learn how to drive it on the range, like back it up, maneuver it 90 degrees, straight back and an offset. And then we had to put it on the road. And I was like, oh, okay. You had to do so many hours of training and put it on the road. And once you get that and you go take your test again, you got to take another test of learning the ins and outs of the truck, like the pre-trip. And then you got to do your back end maneuvers. And I'm sorry, it's a piece of hair in my face.
No,
It's
you're
driving
fine.
me crazy. You got to do the back end maneuvers. And then after that, you got to do a road test.
Interesting.
And you get your CDL.
Interesting. So then once you get your CDL, you become a truck driver.
Yeah.
Do you have like your own truck? Like you bought it, this is yours? Or is it a part of like a company? How does it work? Are you like a freelance between random companies? Like I'm not making sense.
So
I feel like
you fine, girl. You
ADHD
fine.
brain is like so
You
many
fine.
questions.
No, you're fine. As soon as you get your CDL, you can do whatever you want to do. You can go
Okay.
buy your own truck. You can rent a truck. You can doggone work for a company. So what I did was I found me a local job because
Okay.
I didn't want to leave my babies yet. I was
Right.
scared. I was a little nervous. Like,
Yeah.
I can't be a mama on the road. Like, no, I don't think this can work for me. So as soon as I got my CDL, I found me a local company just to pull their freight for. And I worked there for like a year, and I went through.
Really?
I went through, girl.
What
like,
is
it was
so
just
bad? What was so bad about
because
it?
I'm a woman.
Did they treat you bad?
Yes, they treated me. Not the management. It was more so the other truck drivers.
Really? Okay.
They treated me horrible.
What did they do?
Like
You can spill all the tea.
they used to be so like because as soon as I got my CDL, it was 1 month when I couldn't find a job. I got turned down 6 times by all these men. Like some men were just there to look at me, hit on me during the interview. This one man told me, he said, I would never hire you as my truck driver. I hire you as my assistant. You're too beautiful. I would never put you behind that wheel. I said, well, that's not what
How are those correlated?
Yeah,
That
that's what
makes no sense.
I said, that's not what I came here for. I came to drive the truck. So he was like, no, I'm good. Some of them, as soon as I got in the car, they denied me. So then this one place, I put on Facebook, I said, I'm looking for a job. I just got my CDL. Because I wasn't going to tell a lot of people I got my CDL. Because I didn't want to be like, how you go from getting a degree to getting a CDL? I was not embarrassed, but I was kind of like...
You just didn't want to deal with people.
Yeah, they comments. Yeah. So I was kind of scared to say something. But I started working. This one place said, this lady said, I want to hire you. Because within that month, I went and got my hazmat, my triple, double. I was just one of them people that I'm a study. If I really want it, I'm going to study to get it. So I went and got all these endorsements put on my license. Endorsements mean like you can go study and take more tests to make your license build up. Like I could pull 2 trailers back to back. I could pull 3 trailers back to back. Now I can pull hazardous material, like gas, bombs, batteries, all of that.
And these are all extras that you add on to your license.
Because I wouldn't I didn't have a job for a month, so I'm going to study to put that on my license. I
love that.
So when
I love that so much.
So when I went to the job, the lady said, you got all of this on your license within 1 month? I said, yeah. She said, we need a hazmat driver. And the men that was already there, they wasn't hazmat drivers. So that's what she was like, I got to give you this job. You got what I'm looking for right now, and you can drive the truck. So when I got there, everything was okay, but then I came in there making more money.
Nice.
Because I had all the endorsements. And the men gave me like, they used to do stuff for the truck, like pull the 5th wheel. They used to just do stupid stuff. They used to complain. I done had to cuss one of them out one time because I had accidentally, like when you backing up a truck, you got to roll down the window and put your arm out. Well, that's how I was trained. Put your arm out for you won't oversteer the steering wheel. So I had just got my CDL, so I'm still learning. So I put my arm out and I backed up the truck and I left the window down. The next morning it rained. It rained all night. And this man has been giving me hell. So in his mind, when he woke up the next morning to get in the truck, he felt like I did it on purpose. So the seat was soaking wet and he talked about me. That stupid girl left the window down. She's not a real truck driver. And at this time, I'd have been putting up with this man. So finally, he went to both warehouses, talked trash about me. I'm dumb, I'm new, I'm stupid, I'm an idiot. She thinks she's doing something because she making this money. Oh, it was bad. So when he got back, it was about almost time for him to go home. It was about 3 something. I walked my black behind out there. And I said, can I talk to you for a sec? He said, you don't have nothing to say to me, you idiot. You left the window down and now my ass is wet. I said, well, let me tell you something. What we not about to do is sit here and keep playing with me. If you ever talk to me like this again, I will be using that criminal justice degree.
Yeah.
I'll be using that degree. And I'm going to go after your behind. So I don't know who you think you're playing with, but I'm not one of them. I am a mama and I am a married woman. And my husband don't even talk to me like that. So if you think you're going to talk to me like that, we got another thing coming, player. And he was like, who do you think you're talking? I'm talking. I got right into this. I'm talking to you. I'm in this job. I'm not going nowhere. And I promise you, within a year, I'm going to have your job. He got fired 4 months later.
Yeah.
Because I went above, like I went to the supervisor and I start using that degree. Like, no, this is what this man is doing to me. He bad mouthed me. Like he's making people look at me crazy at the warehouse. I start using my criminal justice degree, fought for myself. And they fired him. And then I just worked there for a year. And I was the only driver at the time as not only a female driver, but the only driver at that time.
Wow.
All by myself. So
Wow. So do you think that over time, because you've now been a truck driver for 7 years, do you think over time, like the discrimination that you faced being like a woman truck driver has gone down, or do you still see it a lot?
oh, it done went down tremendously.
Okay.
Like I got into this industry and I said, I'm going to make sure the percentage of women go up.
I love
Like
that.
I said, I'm going to educate. I'm going to show how much fun I'm having. Because after that year, I went over the road
Okay.
as a mother, as a wife, as an entrepreneur. I went over the road as an educated Black woman. So I started making content to educate more people. You can do the same thing. You can still be a mother. Take the doggone kids with you. Like you can still be an entrepreneur. Run your business when you take your break. Run your business. So I went over the road and I loved it. And I just knew I was a superhero at that time.
You are. Yes, as you should. I love that.
Yeah.
And again, ADHD, like I have so many questions. So
Yeah.
like you were talking a little bit about like your pre-trip, getting the truck ready.
Oh, yeah.
What does that look like? Like how do you maintain the truck?
Every morning before you start your day, you got to do a pre-trip.
Okay.
Every night before you, or every end of your shift, you got to do a post-trip.
Okay.
So pre-trip means you're going to open that hood and you're going to check. You're going to check the belts, the fluid level. You're going to check, close it, check the lights, check and see if anything leaking, check and see if the truck is tilted. You got to make sure your tires are good, making sure everything is locked down, securely mounted. Like everything got to be in order before you can even pull off with that equipment. Like there can't be a little string of hair that you forget before you pull off with that
Absolutely.
equipment. Your seals, your doors are locked. Your lights on your tail light is working. Your brake lights are working. Turn signal, everything gotta be working before you pull off. And then you gotta say a prayer. Because your goal is to make it back home.
Absolutely.
And you gotta do that every single time before you get up. I check my truck about 6 times a day. Like
Okay.
every time I stop, I'm looking.
Just to make sure.
Yeah,
It's better to be
girl,
safe.
I gotta make it back home, and I'm cute. I can't be on the side of the road, flipped over, dead somewhere. Girl, no, I gotta make it back home.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you gotta do that every morning, and then every night you gotta do the same thing.
Okay, so the pre and post trips are the same, they're just different times.
Yep,
Okay.
just different times and different, like beginning of the day, end of the day.
Perfect. And then so usually like your trips, how long typically are your, how long are you driving?
On my day over the road, I used to drive 10 hours, 11-hour days,
Wow.
sometime more if I could,
Crazy.
legally. If I could.
Why? So like how often do you, like if you have a 10-hour trip, how often are you stopping?
Almost every hour and a half.
Okay.
I used to stop about 7-6 times. I got to use the bathroom. I'm a woman. I'm still a woman. And I'm
Absolutely.
a mother. They pushed out 2 kids out of my honey, I got to stop. I got to use the bathroom. I need to do some snacks. I'm a fat bitch.
Yes.
So I need some snacks. I need some chips. I need my popcorn. I need my drink. I did only used to drink 2 things. Well, 3. Water, sugar-free Gatorade, and sugar-free coffee. That's the only thing I used to drink.
Okay.
But other than that, I used to... Stop, girl. I got to use the bathroom. Who am I racing?
Do you have like specific areas that you like look for to stop? Like do you stop?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, okay.
I did. Every time I hit the road, I used to always stop at the same rest areas.
Okay.
I did not used to stop at the truck stop unless I had to get fuel.
Okay.
And when I did used to stop at the truck stop to get fuel, like it only be for 15 minutes, no more.
Okay, why?
Like, because I'm there for one reason, get fuel.
Okay.
I'm not there to waste time. If them wheels are not turning, you're not earning. So I used to be very strict, and I didn't want no man, oh, baby girl, I can do what you're doing, but that. I'm like, oh, girl.
No.
When a woman like me pull up, and they think it's time to Mac Daddy, I don't want you. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. Let me see what you can do. Oh, it was so bad. So I just stayed away from it, and I used to just go to the rest area, and I used to handle all my business in the truck, or if I had to handle some personal business, I'd go into the rest area. But other than that, no.
Where do you sleep?
In the back of my truck.
Is there space for that?
Girl, my back of my truck was like a mini apartment. It was like a home away from home. That's why I love going over the road. Like, I'm telling you, okay, so the back of my truck, I had everything I need. A portable bathtub,
Okay. Wow.
porta potty, water, sink, microwave, refrigerator, memory foam mattress.
Okay.
That sleeps so good. I had my throw pillows, my lights lit up, my sparkly curtains. It was like my pictures and everything. Like,
Is that common for truck drivers to have like all of that?
well, now that they're seeing it, now that
it
they're
is.
seeing me making videos, it got very common. And now women start tricking out their trucks, and men start tricking out their trucks. I done seen some people put, if they sneaker heads, they got sneaker containers at the top of their truck, and it's like
so
they got a bean bag in the front. I got fur on the floor, on the seats. I done seen it all now that I really start making videos.
Wild. I love that so much.
We're going to take a quick break and quickly hear from all of our sponsors. Eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never-frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian-approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So what are you waiting for? Get started today and fuel up for your springtime goals. Get chef-prepared meals on the table in 2 minutes so that you can get back to what you really want to do this spring. Factor's your solution for fast, premium meals without the need for cooking. No prepping, no mess, none of the stuff that makes dinner time a nightmare for me. I have the worst time picking my favorite dishes, okay? I keep going back and forth between the salmon dishes, but then also the tomato chicken risotto. Like, oh, it's all so good. I would be lying if I didn't tell you that I got duplicate meals of each of those options whenever they're available. Head to factormeals.com/Rebecca50 and use code Rebecca50 to get 50% off on your first month and 20% off on your next month. That's code Rebecca50 at factormeals.com/Rebecca50 for 50% off on your first box and 20% off on your next box while your subscription is still active. I first gave AG1 a try because I've been feeling meh lately. But since drinking AG1, I've noticed a real difference in my daily health. I feel relaxed, I have energy, I feel like I can focus. That's because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition. They're constantly refining their formula to create better, smarter ways to elevate your baseline health. Not only did I replace my multivitamin with AG1, but I love that every scoop includes vitamin C and zinc to support my immune health. Drinking AG1 has become a new part of my morning routine so that I can feel productive and energized and focused throughout the day. If there's one product that I would recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1, which is why I'm so excited to welcome them as a new partner. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/Rebecca. That's drinkag1.com/Rebecca. Check it out. How's your sock drawer looking? Is it scary? Well, have no fear. Bombas just dropped a new line of tees, undergarments, and socks to help you get that drawer a little bit more organized while also doing some good. If you weren't aware, Bombas has a one purchase, one donated mission. What that means is that every time you buy items from their store, whether it's socks, tees, undergarments, doesn't matter, you're also donating essential clothing to people facing homelessness. To date, Bombas has donated over 100 million clothing items and counting. And once you try Bombas, you'll never look at socks the same way again. They've obsessed over all the tiny details, like foot-hugging honeycomb arch supports, anti-blister tabs, and cushioned footbeds that feel like little pillows for your feet. What I personally love about Bombas is the buttery soft fabric. It just makes for perfect comfy clothes on my cozy days. So get comfy this spring and give back with Bombas. Head over to bombas.com/Rebecca and use code Rebecca for 20% off on your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Rebecca and use code Rebecca at checkout. Now, back to the episode.
So, like, what is the longest job? Like, the longest you've ever gone for a job?
Been on the road?
Uh-huh.
I drove. The longest
Either.
I've been on the road was 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. It was because I just couldn't make it back. he kept trying to route me back home, but the money kept coming. And I was like, I'm good. Long as I'm good, long as the kid's good, you good, I'll run. And I ran.
That's crazy.
That was the most I think I
That's
ever done.
impressive.
Yeah, girl, I'm gonna get to that money. I'm a hustler though. I
respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. So I respect it. Absolutely. What's the longest you've driven?
I never forget. Okay, so I had to pick up a load down in it was the bottom of Georgia. The load had to be delivered outside of Raleigh. And I had just started with this company. And it was potato chips, Frito-Lay. So I went to Frito-Lay and it was on a Saturday. And I was like, okay. I went to Frito-Lay, pick up the load, and I started driving. But it had to be delivered, the times was wrong. So it had to be delivered by that day by 12 o'clock. So I was like, okay, oh my God, how am I going to do this? It was going to be a pinch into the metal type of clock.
Right.
And I said, I don't got no time to play. I got to drive over 500 and something miles to get this load done. The most you could drive is, I want to say 615 miles a day. That's a full 11 hours straight shift of driving. So I was like, look, I'm going to try it. I had just got my CDL too. Like I had my CDL for like a year. I want to say a year and about 4 months at that time. So I said, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see how long I could do it. Girl, I got behind that wheel and I was just booking it. I knew that I-95 to get me straight there, I only had to turn off like one time to get on this one highway. But I got on that highway and I booked it. I pulled over for about 5 minutes, take me to use the bathroom break, got my food, got back underneath it again. And I drove a total of 574 miles. By the time I got there, I had 6 minutes left on my clock to drive.
Wow.
And I was just like, when I got there, the man said, you made it by the skin of your head. We were just about to close the dock. I said, well, get this load. I'm picking up my empty and I'm about to hit the road. And I was able to stay there. But I had got there and I was just like, you can't tell me shit. I got this. Like, I was on a high. I posted it. I was listening to my Meek Mills. Like, it was just a moment that I did this. And
yeah.
And
that's amazing.
I think that was like the most highest moment of driving. And the longest I think I went is to Connecticut. The farthest up I went is Connecticut.
Wow.
And the lowest I think is Louisiana.
That's where my family's from.
Yeah.
My mom's from Cajun country.
Yeah. I went over there and I came back up. I think the widest I went is like West Virginia. I went to Kentucky. I think that's it. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So we talked a little bit about like how some of the other drivers treated you. Have you found, like, are there any people out there who like look down on you like for going into getting your CDL and becoming a truck driver? Because I know that like when I said I'm going to be a teacher, the eye rolls that I would get from people. Like, did you experience anything like that?
Oh, yeah. And I still do. When I go to the truck stop, it's always the older men. Older men. And it's the older men the same race as me.
Really?
Yeah, real bad.
That's so, what do they say?
And they're the worst online too. Now, when it comes down to certain things, you don't need to be driving that truck, you need to be home with no kids.
Oh my God.
And then the other I get bad is when I do my oil videos for farmers, for people who are mechanics. Those are the older men that say, why is she telling us about oil?
Oh my
Why
God.
is she promoting that oil video? So those are the worst too. The older men that has been in this industry, or the older men that's from farming and from
How dare
mechanical.
a woman know anything?
Yeah, well, how dare you with them long nails? Though anything I can tell me about a truck. Like, that's what I get.
They're just mad because you're showing them that you can look good
Yes.
while doing it, so they have no excuse.
Yes. So
Why
really,
you be looking like that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So really it's the older community.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like kind of circling back to like other truck drivers, and again, I'm just kind of going through my list of like
No, you're
questions
fine,
that
you're
people
fine.
have sent me. Do you have any like pet peeves when it comes to other truck drivers, of like things that they do or things that they say or things that might make like whether it be your job harder, whether it be like socially or actually like contributing to negative stereotypes about truck drivers? Like, have you ever experienced anything like that?
Yeah, especially when they talk about like, oh, a real truck driver can drive a manual truck. A manual truck is when you're using that gear shift.
Yeah, like a stick shift.
And my truck now is an automatic. It's just like you driving a car.
Yeah.
So they say a real truck driver can drive a manual truck. You ain't no real truck driver. They don't know that I was trained on the manual. They don't know that I could still drive. My first truck I bought was a manual.
Who cares?
But who cares? So it's like you get that comment, right? And it's like, shut up. Who cares? You can't outdrive me. So, I mean, or what does it matter? I can drive.
Like, is the stuff getting to where it's going?
Girl, that's what I say.
Yeah.
This is what I say to him. I say, when I pull up to the dock, am I still gonna get my check? That's all I care about. I don't care how the hell it get you.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, but that's one of the biggest things. Or another real big thing that happens in the truck industry that causes the most conversation. Oh, you really ain't made that money. You really ain't make that. Oh, the rates are bad. You ain't making no money for real. It's like, why does it matter?
You think these males pay for themselves?
Yeah. Like, why?
Excuse me. Do you know how much these cost?
Yes. Yes.
But even like that's so crazy because like also at the end of the day, who cares?
Who
You don't pay
cares?
my bills.
Yeah.
I don't pay your bills.
Oh, it's bad.
Why are you so worried about the money that I'm making?
Oh,
Like,
it's bad.
I don't.
Yeah.
Some people have way too much time on their
Way
hands.
too much time. And then they'll come and this what gets me is when they come to talk bad about me being a female in the trucking industry. And they I love this. This is what I love. I get tickled. When they write a whole paragraph about how they dislike you, you shouldn't be in the trucking industry, you are a woman, you're lying, da-da-da. And then I delete.
Block. Yes. Yeah, my favorite thing to
Block,
do
delete,
when it
remove.
comes to people like that, and I used to teach social studies.
Yeah.
So and like a lot of people know that. So a lot of times people put like you're a teacher and you should know like this is my First Amendment right. Blah blah blah. I said, well, you don't have that here.
Yeah.
Block.
Delete, remove.
Block button is my favorite. I'm like, you just spent a good 20 minutes of
Writing
your
it,
day
proofreading it.
writing this,
And I'm
proofreading it.
Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And my husband be tickled.
Oh my God.
Tickle.
Sometimes I make Avery respond to comments in general, like, cause like, you know, when you respond to comments, it promotes engagement.
Yeah.
So I make Avery look at my comments sometimes cause he's nicer than me.
Oh, I'm not.
Like I don't do well with bullies.
I don't either.
I have no patience. Like when it
Yeah.
comes to like regular people, I'm the friendliest person
Yeah.
in the world. You love me, I love you. Like I will literally like give you a big hug, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're a jerk or you're a bully,
Yeah.
I have no
Sympathy.
patience. No
No.
sympathy, no patience, no tolerance.
way.
Nothing. So we just decided it's better if Avery responds to comments.
I'm telling you, I be waiting for it too sometimes. And then every
Yes.
now and then, I find one to educate people on.
Yeah.
Like I find one as a one like, okay, I change it negative to a positive, and I make a video about it. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. So this is a very interesting question. I don't think I've ever asked anything like this before because I've never thought about it. Is there like a truck drivers union?
It is.
Like that? There is. Is
they-
it by state or is it?
No, they have something, but I don't get into all of that.
Okay.
I never do because I'm confused. I'm not
Yeah,
a politics
no,
person
understand.
or and that's some of the things that I always never cover on my page. I never talk about politics, racism, sexuality, and religion
Okay.
because it causes
And it has nothing to do with your job.
yeah, so when it comes down to truck drivers having certain type of, they want to have certain type of say so, and I just stay away from it because it can cause so much. And
That's understandable.
And I'm just here to be a superhero on wheels.
Absolutely. No, that's totally fine.
Yeah. But that's a good question. I never got asked it
I
before.
got that a lot, and I think a lot of it comes from the fact that when I post a lot of teacher videos, a lot of comments that I get are always like, "Well, that's your fault for not joining the union, or your fault for whatever." Honey, we live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like we don't have those here.
Yeah.
Like so when I saw that question come up repeatedly, I was like, "Oh, that might be a question to just ask her."
Because a lot of people don't realize that in the South, like when it comes to many occupations that are state run,
Yeah.
they're right to work states. You don't say the U word. You don't say that word at all. Like when I was a teacher, you don't say the U word. You don't say the S word either.
What's the S word?
Strike.
Oh yeah.
You don't say that.
Yeah.
So it's something that like I've never even really thought twice about because we just don't have them here.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if like when it came to truck driving, if there was also like a state by state thing, which if there was, there wouldn't be one in North Carolina anyways. Or if there was like a federal thing, I don't know.
They will. They now truckers will go on the S word. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And now every now and again, if I see that it's really beneficial for the trucking community to really make a stand, and it's not politics too bad, it's not causing harm, I will make a video about it because my platform is so massive.
Absolutely.
So I'll be like, I will make a video taking a stand if it's like,
if it's something that you really believe in. Yeah, as you should. I'm
gonna be like, it's not about politics, it's not about racism, nothing.
It's about quality.
It's about the quality of life, like quality of my career, or just taking a stand with what's right and what's wrong. Because I don't like a bully either. So other than that,
no, I think that's really respectable. Like taking a stand because it's something that you believe in, and not just because it's something that
I'm not follow. No, I don't follow. Yeah.
I love that. No, I really like that. Interesting. So then, do you have any like you've done this for 7 years? Mm-hmm. Have you had any experiences, whether it's on the road or with other drivers or just with people or just in general that have made you think, oh my God, I don't get paid enough for this shit?
Girl, every day. Shoot. Every day.
Go ahead.
Every day.
I'm ready.
Every day. Girl, that's where It's Trucker's Life, baby, came from. Because you can't make some of this stuff up.
No.
You can't.
No. Okay, give me some examples.
Girl.
Give me like your most memorable experience. You can take a second if you need to think about it.
What? I don't know. It's so many.
That's okay. I received a bunch of stories if you want me to tell one first.
Okay, so I give you my most viral one.
Okay.
This is how I really went viral.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm this pretty bad girl. Ooh, Clarissa Rankin, Truckers Life. It's okay. So I pulled up to this. It was this one place that always have dog food. I always deliver dog food.
Okay.
I like to carry heavy. And I like to go up in the mountain areas to make me really feel like a truck driver girl. Mind your business. Anyway.
I love that.
So I always used to deliver to these certain stores, and I always used to be like the only black person in that area going to be for the week.
Right.
Y'all probably the only black person you see.
Yeah.
But they always used to treat me wonderful. I never had no problems. And this one spot, I had to go up the mountains to get here. Like, I mean, booking it. Oh, okay. So by the time I got there, I was just like, I'm done. I'm tired. So back the truck up, walk to the door.
Okay.
Ring the doorbell. No answer. I ring the doorbell. No answer. So I'm sitting here like, I know these people hear me. I come all the time. What are they doing? No answer. But then the door was wide open. I don't like to walk through nobody's place because I am a black woman in the country.
Yeah.
So, and I had this big, I think it was purple hair at the time. I had this big hair, like a drag queen. So I was like, I'm not, and I got these long nails, like, I'm not walking.
Yeah, no, it gotta be safe.
But
I wouldn't walk there.
I didn't want to, but I did. So I walked through and I'm like, hey, just trying to get somebody to come to the door. And I'm steady walking. Nobody's back there. Hey, I'm just trying to get somebody to come to the door. And finally, here goes the employee door. And I was like, I don't want to go through there because I don't want nobody to think like, are you trying to go back there, steal something?
Right.
So I opened the employee door and I walked through. And it was this older white gentleman, big long beard with his working vest on. And he looked at me like, why are you coming out that door? And I was like, whoa, I'm the truck driver. I'm here to make your delivery. He said, you're the what? I said, I'm the truck driver. I'm here to make your delivery. He said, what? I'm like, I don't get paid enough for this. I'm looking at this man like who else would I be? Right, well, who else would I be? And I guess because I'm just so girly, he was like, you're the what? I said, I'm the truck driver. I have your dog food in the bag. He said, oh. He looked me up and down. He said, oh, you're the truck driver. You're beautiful. And I said, well, thank you. I'm here to make your delivery. He said, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't. And I'm sitting here like, oh, so are you going to come to the door? He said, what are you here to deliver again?
Oh,
I said, I'm the truck driver. And I'm here to make your delivery. He said, oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Back up to the door. I'll be out in a second. So when I backed up to the door, I sat in my truck and I said, I turned on the camera. I just turned it on. I said, excuse my language. I said, he thought I was going to deliver. Like, what he thought I was his scripper? What did he think I was coming to do? Dance in the back of the trailer? And he's like, what are you thinking I was doing? Like, what are you thinking I'm here to be? Your scripper? Come unload this truck. And then he kept asking me, what are you doing? Oh, what? I said, what? I said, I cannot make this up, but this trucker's life, baby. And that video went viral.
Bless his heart. That actually reminds me of a story that someone sent. So there's this truck driver, had a very late run. Kind of was in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't a truck stop anywhere nearby or anything. So he was just going to sleep in the truck overnight. So found like a completely, what he thought was an abandoned little area, just pulled off onto the shoulder and was like, I'm just gonna nap right here. It's fine. Like there's nothing but like trees. Like I'm near a forest.
Yeah.
Who am I gonna bother? Nobody. So as he's sleeping, like a few hours into this deep sleep, he just hears this dog barking its head off. And he's like, oh, it's probably somewhere, like maybe there's someone's backyard somewhere off yonder, whatever. I'm just gonna ignore it. Well, the barking gets closer. And he's like, what? Why is there like some random dog out? All of a sudden the barking is right outside of his truck. So he's like, okay, let me just like make sure that it's not Lassie trying to alert me of someone hurt somewhere. Sits up and peeks out the window. It's a man barking with crazy eyes and
why?
Just barking at the truck. And
like a roof?
Like woof. Like barking.
Are you serious?
And he goes, nope, not today, not today. Starts the truck, zooms off. This man starts chasing the truck like an angry dog. He's like, absolutely not. Finds the he's like, I'm just gonna go till I find a truck stop. It is not worth it. Nope, not today.
I can see that.
Crazy
People are crazy.
Have you ever come across like some interesting individuals?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So many, like I'll never forget. I went to this one truck stop. I always love to park there because it's in the cut, and I don't know what made me do this night, but the back of my truck was so cozy.
Yeah.
Well, I turned my CB on for some reason, and I just started hearing. I guess it was my first time ever hearing how they buy lot lizards.
What is that?
Lot lizards is a hoe.
Oh, lot lizards?
Yeah, they call it lot because at the truck stop it's a lot. Like you park
lot
it, right?
Lizard. So okay, this is a clarifying question.
Yeah.
A lot lizard. Is it just a very friendly lady, or is it like a woman of the night?
It's a hoe.
It's not a prostitute.
Yeah.
Is it a prostitute?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if she was just like friendly for free or if she charged.
Oh,
I don't know.
No, she gonna charge me.
A lot lizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I turned on because they walk the lot.
Yeah.
And they go from truck to truck.
Fascinating.
You need any company up there? And they're knocking it down. So I turned on the CB for I don't know what made me turn that CB that night. And I heard them on there saying, oh. And then there was like, and they had a cadence to it, like truck number or not truck number, so-and-so, I forgot how he said it. But she was like, okay, on my way. Okay, so Roger that. And it was just, they was calling hoes on the CB. So then I got a little petty. And I got on there and I said, what is going on? And he said, you can come over here and find out too and join the party. Right there on the CB. Yes, it was just,
No.
But then they was going back and forth. Two truck drivers going back and forth over this one woman.
Wow.
I slept there for years, never knew that they was out there, but it's a hotel right next door.
Okay.
So it made sense. And I was
sense.
like, so I just left it on and just used it as story time. Like I just listening.
That is
seeing
so
what truck she going to next. And little petty. I just said, I'm gonna sit right here and listen to this foolishness tonight. Yeah.
crazy.
Woo!
Oh, well, someone else sent me a story about how another woman truck driver.
Yeah.
She had a co-driver with her. They would take turns because they would do like cross-country
team
drives.
Yeah.
And she was driving, I think it was somewhere near Arizona, and she noticed in the distance it looked like there were leaves tumbling across the road. And she just remember thinking, like, this is the middle of the desert. That's like really weird. Well, as she gets closer, she realizes they were not leaves.
What was it?
It was hordes of tarantulas crossing.
Are you serious?
And she was like,
Oh,
she said
God.
there were so many. I could feel the truck sliding as I was driving through them. She's like, I couldn't wait because it was just like a never-ending river of tarantulas. Doing whatever. I didn't even know tarantulas migrated like that or
Are you
whatever.
serious?
And she was so like grossed out. She's like, I don't do spiders.
Oh,
She goes, I'll do snakes and I'll do insects. I don't do spiders. So she found the nearest truck stop and was like, no. And her co-driver was asleep. So she found the nearest truck stop.
Oh,
Fuel up, and she just, wake up. And he's like, what? Because he's mad. 'Cause this is supposed to be his time to sleep. And she's like, I need you to go pump the fuel because I'm not getting out of this truck.
What if it's one on the truck?
What if there's like she's
All
like,
over the
not
truck.
only that, I know that their parts are all over the wheels. These
oh,
disgusting
God. Oh,
giant
God.
creatures. And he thought she was just being dramatic. She's a woman.
Of course.
So he gets out of the truck all pissed. And he looks at the wheels and he goes, oh my God. And they were just like legs that were way longer than they needed to be. And he's like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'll fuel. Oh God.
Oh my God. Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, when you go across country or you start traveling, you get to experience so much of life that everyday people would never see. Like, you wouldn't understand some of the views and visions and things happen on the road that you would never.
Yeah.
You would never know.
What's another one that like pops into your head?
I don't know. So many. I done been on the road for so many years. I don't know. Oh, I got bad ones.
Okay.
So I was and I tell this story. I just told this story the other day to my students. I was on my way to deliver something up in Virginia, and I'm big about people following me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm big about people
Safety.
Yeah,
Safety's
girl, I'm
important,
very
especially
safe
for women. Yeah.
Yes, I'm very and I was getting a little tired, and I don't know if you ever heard this saying, but if you pull over the truck, you walk around it. I want to say 16 times. It's a mile. It's like a mile long if you keep walking around your truck because it's 53 foot, something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, so I pulled over and a white truck had pulled up on the back side where the trucks are at. And I'm like, what is he doing? So I got out of the truck and I went to walking around, and the passenger side got out, and then the driver's side person got out and stood in front of the truck. So when I came back to the other side, the back of the truck, he started walking towards me. I was scary. And so I looked back like, why is he walking towards me? I sped up, he sped up. I started running, he started running. And so he was coming after me. Then the person in the driver's side, he started coming behind him. And then I took off. I started running to the truck, and I got in the truck and locked the door. He ran back to his truck, and they drove off. So come to find out, I was in a hot area for sex trafficking.
Oh my gosh.
So I really feel like, and this is heart of hearts, life of life. I really feel like I was going to be a victim. I don't know why I kept feeling like that, because
It's that sixth sense.
yes, because
Your intuition.
yes, and I always keep my sneakers on when I get out my truck.
As you should.
Because I'm gonna
you
get
need
up
to
out of there.
run, you need
I'm
to
running, yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh,
because I looked it up when after everything happened, I was like, that wasn't like a normal thing. That was set up. He knew what he was doing. He had a plan.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
Wow.
And the only thing that saved me is I got in the truck and he don't know if it was somebody in the truck with me.
Yes.
That's the only thing he didn't know. So I said, I looked it up and kind of found out I was in that area. It was up in the Greensboro area. Right before you get to the Virginia exit.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. It was very like, and when I made a video about it, just alarming people that area was known for that at that time. You know what the men was saying? Well, what did you have on?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you wear? What was
gosh.
you doing?
As if you're gonna wear, like, first of all, not that it would matter.
Yeah.
But as if you're gonna sit there and wear like a clubbing outfit while
like
you're driving
a
your truck
skirt.
all
Yeah.
day.
And you know what I had on? I had on a pair of long leggings and a t-shirt. And they asked, well, was you wearing that? Oh, well, that's why they did it.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I hate people.
Yes.
That fires me up.
Yeah.
Bless.
Yeah.
I hate everybody. I have two other stories that people sent. Actually, three, kind of. But the two that I'm thinking of right now, one is funny and one is heartfelt.
Okay.
Which one do you want first?
Heartfelt.
Okay. So, another trucker driving way later than he should.
Yeah.
Figures, again, middle of nowhere. It feels like it'll be safe if I just pull off somewhere and find a place to sleep. So he does. Here's some rustling in the distance. And thinks it's pitch black, his truck lights are off, the engine's off. There's no city lights, anything, dead middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And thinks he sees in the distance the figure of a person.
Really?
And just starts getting the hairs on his neck start to rise.
I'll put nothing past it. Yeah.
And then this figure just starts coming closer and closer. And he starts, getting his keys ready of if he needs to turn the truck on and pull out of it.
Yeah.
Starts getting very concerned. Starts feeling around for a blunt object if he needs it.
Yeah.
And this person emerges from the woods and just walks up to the truck. And what terrifies the driver is that he's holding a knife. And he's freaking out, is ready to just pull out of there until he hears a knock at his window, and his heart racing. He's got his phone on ready to dial 911. He is so afraid that he's gonna get jumped or mugged or stabbed or something. But something in his brain tells him to just crack the window a little bit and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And this man said, "Hey, I came out here fully prepared to harm myself.
Oh, wow.
And take my life. But then I just started thinking about my daughters, and I couldn't go through with it. And I started thinking maybe this is a mistake. And then I saw you pull up. And so I kind of took that as a sign that I should probably go home and see my girls. Is there any way that you might be able to call somebody for me and have someone come get me?"
Serious?
And yeah, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And so stories like that just I'm gonna
Yeah.
The stories like that reaffirmed that so hard for me. And so the truck driver immediately, let him into the passenger seat, gave him some water, called the police, and just sat and talked with him and had a real heart-to-heart conversation until the police were able to come and pick him up and take him home.
And how do you get those wonderful stories? Because those are, I can see that happen as a truck driver.
Yeah.
Do they just send them to you?
I put on all of my platforms. I'm just hey guys, this is the episode that I'm planning. This is the general theme. If you or your friends have experience or have heard or have any stories, send them to me. I want to share your experiences. I want to share, because I've never done most of the occupations that I do podcast episodes on.
Yeah.
And I never want to, I just want to raise the voices of other people who have had these experiences. So I want them to be real.
Wow. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Isn't
I'll tell
that
you one
crazy?
more.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that makes me think of the one that I don't tell this one a lot because it was just so traumatic.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, but my
And then we'll
husband.
tell one a funny one to like raise the mood after.
Yeah. So my husband is the one that always book my loads. And at this time I was on the road for like 2 weeks and I was so ready to get home. And I told him, he said, I want you to go pick up this load from Mooresville, take it to Georgia, and then you can just drive back. And I was like, Joey, why'd you book me that? I said, I told you I'm ready to come home. He was like, no. He said, I'm so sorry. I guess it was a misunderstanding. I said, no, I told you I was ready to come home. I said, now I'm out here. I done been out here for 2 weeks. I'm tired. I'm ready to come home and lay in my bed. And normally I don't get like that. But it's this time I was just like,
You were
exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, well, I can't. It's too late now. We can't turn away from the load. And we kind of need the money. I was like, oh, crap. I said, all right, I'll go pick it up. I was very nasty to him. Very nasty. Now when I look back, now I was like very nasty. Like, oh man, you're not listening. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to come home. You're at home with the boys. I'm ready to come home. And he was like, well, I'm sorry. He hung up the phone and I said, crap. So,
Whatever.
yeah. So I went there and I sat there and I got, I had to wait for a while at the shipping and receiving. And I was like, look, Joey, now I'm sitting here and I'm here all day waiting for a load. And now I'll be running through the night. He was like, well, I'm sorry. Like, it's okay. Suck it up. Now you already in it now. You're a truck driver. So I was like, okay. So I got loaded, got fuel, and I started heading on the road. It was going good. My mood got back okay, you know. And I got in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I got to this curve, I seen the car go right into the woods. And the only thing you seen was car seat flying out, furniture, basket, laundry clothes, a person flying out underneath the truck right in front of us. Yeah. And the only thing you see was the top of the car go through the front windshield. Like,
Wow.
and I just said, yeah, yeah.
Were you okay?
Yeah,
Were they
I was
okay?
okay because I'm always the driver that sits back and I let things happen in front of me so I can react to it. So as I let it happen, it clicked to me, that's why I'm here. Like, I wasn't supposed to be here in my mind. I wanted to be on, but God put me there. So now let's go to work. So as soon as I seen everything happen, I politely went past it and I pulled over. I have to put my lights on and everything started coming to my mind. I'm a mama. I worked in healthcare. I was a CNA for years and I'm a truck driver. I'm a nurturer. I'm a wife. I can do this. I pulled over. I got out. First thing I did was went to the person that was laying in the road. And I thought it was a woman. It actually was a man. He had long, beautiful dreads laying in a pool of blood. So he was completely deceased. And I went to the car. And by that time, people were just stopping, coming. And this one lady came out there with a camera. I said, if you don't put that camera away, how dare you? And she said, what do you mean? The girl, my mama kicked it. Put that camera away.
Wow.
And then there was this little baby coming out the car. And this man was standing there. He said, help, help. He had a baby in his arms. And it was a little baby, he was about 4 or 5. Like, he came wobbling out of the car. And this guy was standing there with his baby. He said, help, help. The baby car seat was what flew out. He didn't have the baby in his car seat. He had the baby in his arms. That's the only reason that baby survived, is because he held the baby in his arms because he needed room in the car. So they put the car seat in the back of the car. So he was holding his baby. And then the other little boy, it was a little boy, he just came wobbling out, and I grabbed him first. I'm a mama of 2 boys. I grabbed him and I said, you okay? You okay, Buddha? Come on, he wasn't responding to me. He was looking at me, but he wasn't responding to me. So I said, come on, baby, come on. I sat him on my lap and I sat in the mud and I said, come on, Buddha, come on, talk. What's wrong? You can talk to me. He was looking at me. He wasn't responding to me. And the only thing you hear is this mama saying, my baby, my baby, my baby. I said, well, what's your baby name? So then I realized, like, are you the mama? She said, those are my kids. I said, well, your baby is okay, but this other baby, he's not responding. He had a big knot on his head at this time. I said, he's not responding. So I'm looking at him, come on, baby, you know, and he's looking at me like this, but he's not responding. She said, he's deaf.
Oh.
So the hearing aid had came out during the accident. So then I was like, come, like you know, like you calm down a little bit, just a little bit, because I had a heart baby, and anytime when Jolie was in the hospital, he had a tube down his throat. He could understand a little bit of sign language, a little bit to get by. He understand like 65 words. So we learned a little bit to get by. So I told him, are you hurt? Like I started trying to say a little bit of what I knew, and I put him to me and I said, forget the talking, chick. I put him to me and I rocked him and I put him right in my chest, like right here. And I said, don't go to sleep. Just calm down, because I didn't want him to go to sleep.
If he had a concussion.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I put him here. He just calmed down. You could feel his heart kind of beating, calming down. And then he went into a seizure. So I laid him out in my arm and I let him roll to the side so he won't choke. So I knew everything to do. And the mama was steady screaming, it's my baby, it's my baby. I said, your babies are fine. We got him. And once he came out, I let him hold him again back here just to calm him down. And by that time, she started yelling, ha, 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 ha. She was in panic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Like she was just lost her mind. And
she was in shock.
Yeah. And then the ambulance came. He got the baby, and he got the other little baby had a little scratch. That's it. Oh. And the other guy had a couple of scratches, but he was completely fine. The other guy was deceased. The front seat passenger was deceased. And I looked at the guy that was holding the baby. I said, are you okay? He said, no. I said, it's going to be okay. You made it. I said, it was a time to go. It was a time to go. I said, you can't help it. It was a time to go. He said, you're right. I said, they spirit been gone before you even got in that car. He said, you are so right. We were sitting on the side of the road at 12 o'clock in the morning. He said, you're absolutely right. He said, the whole ride here, they was silent. They was quiet. And he said, they're never quiet. They always up and rowdy and dancing to music. And he said, they sat there. And I said, yeah, their body been left. I said, their spirit was just there. Lord been took them. He said, thank you. Thank you. You're helping me. And he had 2 babies on his shirt. I said, who are those babies on your shirt? He said, those are my twins. They just had a birthday last week. Aww. I was like, crap, that's crazy. So then when I left, I was cried. And I said, God, that's why you sent me here. I said, you make me sick. I said, that's why you sent me here. I said, God, that's what you was doing. I said, you knew what you was doing, but you make me sick. He sent me there to be that for that baby. And he sent me there to calm down that situation with the camera. And he sent me there at that moment because he knew I was going to be able to do my little part of my little purpose in life. And I came home, I made a video, and the video went viral. And the family reached out, all aspects of the family. And it really changed everybody's life. And that's the reason why I was there. So the only reason I feel like I was able to tell that story because the Lord put me there to be able to tell this story, to tell people how important it is to be safe on the road and how important it is to not take life for granted. Because I called you and apologized like crazy. I said, now I was feeling so bad. But I felt so bad. But then at the end, I just said, it's trucker's life. It's a part of that lifestyle that nobody can ever see. If it wasn't for me sitting up so high, if I was in a car, I would have never seen all that. But I was up so high. I was able to witness everything right in front of me. So when it comes down to me being on the road, it's like, I love my job, but it comes with the good and it comes with the bad. And that's part of one of the bad days. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And were you okay, like mentally after that?
No.
Yeah, no.
I stayed home for about 3 weeks.
As you should.
Yeah, I stayed home.
That's traumatic.
I just drove back. I didn't bring no load back, nothing. But yeah, I just came home. I didn't go on the road. I hugged my baby when I walked that door.
Absolutely.
I cooked, talked to the families, did a news interview over the phone. It was okay, but yeah, I didn't. No. I stayed away for about 3 weeks.
I feel like that's healthy though. Like I feel like I would be more concerned if you didn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going out there.
No.
My nerves were shot.
No, like I'm not driving.
Yeah, I cried all the way back. I was just like, oh, that poor baby. And I just kept worried about that baby. I kept worried about, is he okay? But he should be older now. He should be about 10 now.
But he was okay. He was fine.
Oh, he just had a concussion. Okay. And he's had a little contusion right here, but he was fine. Oh. Yeah, both the kids was fine. The adults was just the one that didn't make it. But like I said, everybody got time to go. Everybody got their expiration date. We just don't know when. So yeah, it was sad.
I feel like I have to tell a funny story too.
Yeah, go for it.
And it's like, at first I was like, yeah, I'll tell a funny story after. Now I'm like, should I?
No, I love it.
So, I only have 2 more that people sent me.
Okay.
So this is a funnier one. So, guys, all these truckers just pulling off to the side of the road and sleeping. Like, it's not safe. Don't do that.
I do it.
It's not safe.
I do it.
Or like, it's not safe. I guess only one of the stories wasn't safe. But late at night, truckers are really tired. Not anything in sight yet again. They're like, I'm just gonna pull off to the side of the road.
And I done did all this
and
before.
Sleep in my truck.
Yeah.
And it was a very like pretty close to a national park. Like definitely lots of wildlife around. And he expected that. So he sleeping, and all of a sudden he hears something heavy. It feels like it's climbing the back of the truck.
Really?
His first thought is, that's a bear.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a bear. Something at least, maybe even like a small bear. Like something 200 pounds, maybe a mountain lion.
Climb in the back of the truck?
Like climbing on top of
the truck. Yeah.
It's what it felt like. It's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
And he's like, maybe if I just like pretend like I'm not here, maybe it'll just move on. Like it's just curious. Like animals are curious, So he like waits a little bit, but then the noise just gets louder, and he's like, "Nope, God!" So he just starts bang, bang, bang on the truck to try and scare it.
Yeah.
But as he's banging on his truck, he hears "ah!" and he goes,
"That don't sound like
that was a person." What? So he gets out of the truck and he sees like 15 to 20 soldiers, half of which are terrified, the other half of which are like pointing at him, ready to go. And he's like, what's going on? Apparently, he was really close to a military base.
Oh, yes.
And they were supposed to be doing drills. This was somewhere like in Utah, I think. They were supposed to be training of like recovering abandoned trucks. And then their abandoned truck was like 3 miles down the road.
Oh,
but they
my
came
God.
into contact with his first. They're like, this is the truck. So they had no idea he was in there.
I can see that.
And they were like, we didn't know what you were, man. So sorry. Apologies.
I can see that.
So then they had to call their commander and be like, you need to let everyone else know there's a sleeping truck driver here and no one else should mess with them. It's not this truck. He's
That's
like,
crazy.
you know what? I'm just going to move. You're 3 miles down the road. I'll just go down 10 miles. It's fine.
That's normal.
So sorry.
That's very normal.
He goes, you know what? That was so much better than a bear.
That's very normal. I can see that happening.
Less. It's trucker's life. You know?
Exactly.
You know?
Now she is understanding when they say it. That is crazy. Yeah, I can see it.
One last question for you, and it kind of goes into the last story that I have, is like, how do you plan for your long drives? Because I'm assuming like you go multiple states at a time.
Oh yeah.
How, especially like in the winter, How do you plan for that? Because you never know, like, what the weather's going to be like. Like, what does your preparations for those drives look like?
For one, on my truck, it's like a survival truck, but it also a home.
Right.
But I have canned goods. I have multiple different blankets, coats, heated blankets. You name it, I have it on my truck. Or I have everything on my truck for every season: summer, spring, winter, fall. Because every time you travel, you never know where you're going to end up, or you never know the temperature until you of course look, but you never know. It could say 57, but it could feel like 20. So
Absolutely.
So one of the things I always make sure is I have food cooked or could be warmed up, and then I always make sure I have canned goods that can be eaten for a survival day. And then I always make sure I have water. I have gallons. I had one time 17 gallons of water on my truck, just stored in different places. So, cat litter. So if I had to soak up something to be able to get out of a hole, my porta potty, of course, my water pump. But you name it, I have it on there. And then I just start driving. Whatever happens is going to happen.
Right.
You have no control of life. Trucking is just like life in general. You have no control of what's going to happen in life today. So just go with it. Just drive. Just take the road and go.
Somebody sent me their story about, like, you're right, like, life's just gonna happen, and you can't always prepare for everything. Their dad was trucking in the 70s.
Oh wow, okay.
And so, you don't have the same kind of tech, you don't have the same kind of ways to plan, it's the 70s. You don't have like Google, so he had to go through multiple states in the South. And for those that don't know, it doesn't always get very cold here. Like, it's cold for us, but it doesn't like snow the same way that it snows other places. So while he was going through some of the southern states, he looked beforehand, obviously, to check, is it going to snow anywhere? And when he prepped a few days before, it didn't say there was going to be any snow. But lo and behold, when he passed through a part of Tennessee, there was black ice on the road.
Really?
And he had no way to know. And it's black ice or clear ice. Like, you can't really see it. It doesn't look like snow. And it wasn't currently snowing. So he hit black ice in his truck going 70 miles an hour. And everyone was okay. Thank goodness. Everyone was fine. There was no injuries, but like the truck obviously had some damage. The cargo that he was hauling obviously had some damage, and he got fired over it.
Oh wow!
And the boss, no compassion, no. Are you okay?
Oh, they don't care.
No.
Everything is our fault.
How are you? Do you need to go to a hospital? Just well, how long is this gonna take? What is it gonna cost me? And do you are all the goods, is it all trashed? Only worried about the job, only worried about whatever. And right when he found out, some of the goods, they're donezo, they're done for. I don't know exactly what he was hauling, but once he found out that some of it was destroyed, he's like, okay, well, that's fine. That's coming out of your last paycheck, and that will be your last paycheck. You're done. You're fired.
That's what
Crazy.
Everything is our fault as truck drivers. Everything.
Really?
Yeah, everything. Everything is our fault. Like, if somebody slam in front of us, if you slam on brakes, that's your fault. Like, it has literally happened to me before. Driving down the road, it was a group of 4 boys going to the gym. They were going to the gym. He just cut me off. I had to slam on brakes, but I don't slam. I press. It's like a pulse for your load won't or shift. So I went like that, and it did kind of a little force to it. And when I got to this location, my load had shifted. All of the back was just flipped up. Of course, that's my fault. Because it was my fault. I should have seen, even though they cut me off, they would still say it's my fault. I should have seen it coming. How can you see that coming?
Wild. Yeah,
but everything is the truck driver's fault. Everything.
That's so gross. I hate that.
We have the biggest responsibility. We're professional. You're supposed to be the most professional person on the road. So I don't know how I would have seen that, but I guess I'm supposed to be looking in his eyes to see what his eyes gonna turn. I don't know, but everything is our fault. Yeah.
Do you find there are any other misconceptions when it comes to truck drivers?
We're all dumb.
People think that?
Girl, we are the most uneducated people in the world as truck drivers. That's what people think. people think we're all uneducated, like we're all just lazy, overweight, fat, sloppy people.
That's
dirty,
so rude.
disgusting.
What?
Oh yeah, we get it all. Especially as women, we get it all. So that's why it's like, that's why I started my, I sell travel essential items. I got to order to pack up now. But I sell travel essential items because I started selling and buying so much stuff to keep me maintenance as a woman. Like, I can bath in my truck, porta potty, wash my hands, wash dishes, clean my hair. I can shampoo my hair if I need to, like all in my truck. But people give us that stereotype of being just people, nasty people behind the wheel.
Ew.
That's how they
gross
treat
behavior.
us. That's how they treat us because you got some truck drivers that will not bath for days.
Oh.
You got some wouldn't clean their teeth, don't clean their hair, don't wash their body. You got truck drivers that will just get up, go, not deodorant, not just nasty. You got some nasty people out there.
So they like contribute to like a stereotype.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got some that's gonna really make a good donation to that side of trucking,
Right.
okay? And I done dealt with some of them, and they'll come talking all in your face. Back up, no. I was up in New York, and this guy had walked up to me. I'll never forget. He walked up to me, and we was both waiting there. We slept there overnight. And anytime I sleep in my truck is my house. I can do everything in my truck. And I had my baby boy with me. So we woke up, and the door opened up at 6:30. So I was at that door at 6 o'clock. Nobody's getting in front of me. I'm a mama. You're not gonna I'm the mama big. You're not gonna pass me. So this guy came walking up, and he said, "What time?" And his breath. And then he lifted up his arm. He said, "What time did it open?" All and it closing. I'm sitting here. I said, back up. Go back to your truck and go wash your behind. You know better." Like, I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it. So people always think that truck drivers are so like just disgusting. But really we are some of the most biggest characters. Biggest personalities. And the main thing I want people to understand about the world of trucking is it's a whole nother world in which you will ever live in. Like, if you ever was to go to a truck stop and you drive your car and you get your gas and you go in there and get chips and you go in there and you might grab a drink, an energy drink, and you check out, pay for your fuel pay for your gas and hit the road. But on the other side of those truck stops, this is our world. We live here. We're staying here. We're getting food delivered here. We got to shower at this truck stop. We have to eat at this truck stop. We have to warm up our food at this truck stop. We have to find get paperwork sometime here. Like, this is a whole nother world that you'll never see because you're on the other side. So when you look into the eyes of a truck driver, we are superheroes on wheels. Because on the other side of that truck stop, we carry milk, we carry dog food, mulch, flowers, cereal, chips, diapers, wipes, formula, canned goods, bottles of water, you name it, we haul it. And people don't understand that truck drivers are what make the world go round. And they don't understand how we sacrifice being at home with our babies and missing the baseball games and missing picking them up from school out the pickup line just to be superheroes on wheels. And they don't understand we do it with a smile. We do it with personality. We do it with style, and we do it with class, and we do it as educated professional drivers. And if people could only imagine some of the things we see, we deal with, we have to endure as truck drivers, they would give us a little bit more grace, a little bit more respect on the road. They would look at us like, thank you. They would say more, be more grateful that we do exist, that we are going to school for this knowledge to be able to drive such heavy equipment on the road, to be able to be trains that drive up and down the road. They would have more respect for us. So the one thing I want people to realize is it's trucker's life, baby. It's a lifestyle.
I love that so much. I actually thought of one last question. How do you pass the time on the road? Like, what's the best way to pass time?
Oh, girl, I have a concert. I be in there singing. And you can ask my road manager. I know all different kind of music. Rap, country, reggae. I listen to classical music, opera, you name it, I listen to it. And I catch a vibe. I listen to rain music sometimes. I be on the headset. My headset is like, girl,
I love
it goes
that.
down in the headset. Me and my husband can talk for hours, and we talk for like, I think the longest me and my husband talked on my headset was 8 hours and 43 minutes.
Wow.
Non-stop. Because I was driving back. I call because we'll talk for hours, me and my husband. I eat me some sunflower seeds. Every now and then, sunflower run up your blood pressure, so not often.
Okay.
But popcorn, I drink my water. I be just looking out my truck, like as in just viewing the scenery. Because the sceneries are up so high. So we can see the beautiful sunset and the sunrise. And we can see the sun on the water and going over these beautiful bridges. And we can look in people's cars and we can see the little kids say, it's trucker's life. Like we can see that. We can see people doing crazy things in their cars. So it can be a whole sitcom just right in front of you. So I listen to some podcasts every now and then, or I'll listen to a YouTube video in my ear, or have the music going. So it just depends, but I just love it. It's the road. I just enjoy it.
That's
So,
amazing. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had so much fun. This was so much fun.
This was. It was
Well, I
good.
knew we would be friends.
Yes, girl. Of course. You're not gonna be able to come back to Charlotte without stopping.
Oh,
to see me.
absolutely
And
not.
I gotta
no,
come
no,
and
no.
see.
Yeah, 100%. Every time we come visit Avery's dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we have to bring Tarzan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It's
like-
gonna be good.
Oh, sorry. I'm ADHD brain. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and hope to see you all next week.
It's your girl, Clarissa Rankin. Say it loud, say it proud. It's Truckers Life, baby.
Bombas just dropped a new line of tees, undergarments, and socks to help you get that drawer a little bit more organized while also doing some good. What I personally love about Bombas is the buttery soft fabric. It just makes for perfect comfy clothes on my cozy days. So get comfy this spring and give back with Bombas. Head over to bombas.com/Rebecca and use code Rebecca for 20% off on your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Rebecca and use code Rebecca at checkout.